got UFC lightweight prospect Khama Worthy. What's going on, Khama? Man, we just spoke a few months back. Nothing actually happened, but now you do have a fight coming up, and it must feel good for you.
Yeah, man, I'm itching. Like it feels. I haven't felt this fight camp. Like I got right to this point at the last fight, and I think it ended right before this all happened, right before this time. So like my body's starting to like tingle a little bit. Like I'm starting to like get a little jittery. I like the feeling a little irritated. So it's really close. We're right there.
All right, before we get into the fight coming up, I wanted to go back to that whole experience of UFC 249. You kind of knew that it was going to be canceled, and then you had some opponent changes throughout that time. Just explain how
Yeah,
hectic that period of uncertainty was.
yeah, man. The biggest thing with me was I just really wanted to fight because I haven't fought since August of last year, and I'm normally the type of guy I fight at least like two or like 3 or 4 times a year. That's how much I like to fight. I just really wanted that. I really wanted to fight. So when they told me they were going to switch my opponents up, I was like, okay, whatever. I don't care. I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, I'll take it. I went from a short, stocky Orthodox to a fast, lanky southpaw, and I was like, fuck it, I don't care. Fine, I'll just do it. I just didn't care. Like, I'm going to take the fight. I'm like, I'm ready to fight, and I want to fight. And then like it was like, okay, you might need a passport, you might need this. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to do all this stuff, and then the fight just gets canceled. I think I was like, I just cut down to being like, because I was at that time, the whole COVID-19 thing, no one knew exactly like what it did to your immune system when you're cutting weight. So my coach had me cutting weight like early, so I was like 6 pounds over. I was down already, being like 6 pounds over. Then they're like, "Oh, fight's not happening." I'm like, oh, "Y'all gotta be shit me." It was rough times.
So you had to go to the buffet right away, right? Because you're just like, man, I gotta
Dude,
eat.
so this is my thing, right? I don't feel like I deserve it unless I did something.
Mm.
So I did, and then I felt like a fucking slob. So I'm like, well, I did all this and I didn't like, even if I would have got my ass kicked, it would at least I would have had gotten something from it, like an experience, something, a lesson learned or something. I didn't get anything. Like it was more frustrating. I didn't even want to eat. I was just mad, like really just upset. And like really, I felt let down, they say.
How long did it take for you to kind of get over that frustration and just focus on what's next?
So my big thing was I had planned to switch and move my gym after my fight. That was my plan. So I didn't fight. So I didn't make money. So I didn't like get the money to get the movers and all of that. But I still had to move the gym. So I did all the stuff. Me and my a couple of guys from my gym, people helped me out. Remember, this was like at the start of COVID-19. So a lot of people didn't want to go out. People were like really uncertain. So it was weird. So I had to move my gym, switch that all up. So then they gave me a call to fight Drew Dober on in June, and it was like on 2 weeks' notice, and I hadn't trained in like almost 3 weeks, and like I hadn't hit pads in forever, and I was like I couldn't take the fight. I'm like I'm not even in fight shape at all. Um, so that kind of like frustrated me as well because I was like I just couldn't get back to training because I had to move my gym before I actually got back. Oh, I can't see, but it's too dark. My girls just came in the bedroom, just turned on lights off. No, so it kind of sucked. Like I was just like couldn't train, couldn't do anything, and then I had to wait. And then once the gym got all finalized, they're like, "Okay, I want to fight now." I'm like, let's fucking go. And then I had to like wait more time until I had to fight again. But it's all worked out. I mean, I just started teaching classes as of today. I had the first class. I taught the first kids class and boxing class. I actually taught them myself, but I'm like, I got really nothing else to be doing. I'm tempering off from my camp. I just did a little sparring afterwards and stuff. So it felt good, just kind of get back to normal and stuff. But
Man,
yeah,
Michael Johnson and then Drew Dober. Those are some serious names right there that could have catapulted you.
yeah, they're just like, yo, fuck this. This dude he took out Devontae. Like, hey, how about you fight this dude? I'm like the biggest thing with the Drew Dober fight was I'm like, dude, Drew Dober and Michael, they've been fighting the UFC forever. I was willing to take the Michael Johnson fight 'cause I just really wanted to fight. The Drew Dober fight, I wasn't in shape. If I would have been in shape, I would have probably asked my manager to ask for a little bit more money because those guys are making serious fucking dough. Like they're making good money, and I'm like, my second fight, I'm gonna make like 14. Like, dude, that's not just a fight you just take just to take the fight to get a fight. I'm like, that's not. Once you lose and do this, and that, it's not really that much money you're making. I'm like, you're walking away like 10 grand. Like, it's not really worth it. Like, I would rather. Like, I mean, even with this fight I'm getting now, this isn't a walkover fight. This guy has 6 UFC fights, but he's still a younger guy in the fight game. You know what I mean? But I mean, if I'm gonna be fighting somebody, the Drew Dober fight, like I said, that one, not Drew Dober, like I think he's ranked in now, right? He's ranked top 15 now, right? So like that would have been. I was thinking yes at first, but I think my coach would have been like, "Fuck no, dog, we ain't getting paid for that." Like, no, I don't think my coach would have liked that at all. But especially since I hadn't trained, like as soon as I suggested to him I wasn't training, he was like, "Nah." He was like, "You can't. We're not fighting that guy just on a 2 weeks notice. Like that's not a type of fight you take like that." So it would be a fun fight. Though. He's an awesome striker. So it'd be a fun fight.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's always something that's possible in the
Down
future
the
for
line.
you.
Yeah. I'm here now. Shit.
When the check looks right.
Yeah, seriously. I'm like, I keep telling people, I'll fight Francis Ngannou's big ass if the check is right. I'm like, I ain't scared of him.
Now, you being a gym owner, man, that's a extra set of responsibilities. COVID-19 hit, you had to close it down, and then all of a sudden, the political, I guess, atmosphere in the U.S., in society and with everything that's going on, the looting started. Did that actually affect your gym at all?
Nothing really affect like there's a couple of studies going on in Pittsburgh, but nothing really majorly at my gym or anything. As for COVID-19, yeah, like I haven't been able to be open. I haven't been open for 3 months, but I was joking around with one of my buddies the other day. I was like, people's hate for racism killed COVID-19. Because motherfuckers is out protesting in the groups and like, fuck it, like people are super afraid of COVID-19, then they're just out protesting. So I'm like, you know what, man, fuck it, more power. I like it.
It almost shows you how the news does dictate what people believe to the fullest because, like you said, the protests did kind of kill COVID-19 because nobody cares about it
Yeah,
anymore. Everybody's outside, hanging out, having
it,
fun, and protesting at the same time.
yeah, so I mean, like, yeah, people are protesting. People are back to normal. I mean, like, it's like some people are still doing it, but like, I saw like a clip in was it Paris? There's like tens of thousands of people. They ain't getting fucking people. Like, what about fuck COVID-19? Fuck racism. I'm like, well, it's a good day in human history, right? Where like
Yeah.
the hate of racism killed like a dangerous people are okay with catching COVID-19 because they want to tell people they don't like racism. Like that's a step for mankind. Like that's a good thing. Like so, but in the same sense, it's like you said, it's like so like things are kind of getting back to normal. I mean, New Zealand reopened back up, and they started actually having events like soccer games with people and stuff. So I think things are getting back to normal, and I think with the situation with the riots, people just had people were just pinned up. They were in their house, and they just hit a point, and they were just like, "Fuck control. We're not going with any type of control at all. No one's going to tell us that we can't do this." And here we are.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it seems like it's calmed down now somewhat, so hopefully we could keep it peaceful and
Yeah,
work from there, man. Because I feel like this started something that can change a lot, in the U.S. and even around the world.
that's the big thing. It's like it's a common sense thing. Like if you watch that video and if you're just trying to make some type of excuse, and it's like, and I'm like, yo, it's like if you watch that and you're okay, you're not human. Like that's just how my perspective is. And I think as the human race, it's a worldwide thing. I mean, it is a race thing, but it's mostly just a human race being people are just like, Doug, that something's got to fucking give. Like you can't be okay with this, and it's weird because a lot of like I had a couple of people like just a couple of my white friends hit me up and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Dude, you don't have to apologize to me," because like it's a lot of they just like it's weird because I'm like maybe they just don't understand what it means to be a minority in America, and it's just different. Like I'm not blaming them, but the system does benefit them in a certain kind of way, and that's just the way it is. I'm not saying I want a handout or anything else with that, but I'm also not acting like it's the truth because it is the truth. Like it is the way it is. Like it's just how it happens. So I think this is just opening up a lot of people's eyes. You know what I mean? Like like until like the late 90s, like, you know, when it comes to like women's right, like women would get raped and go to police officers, and the first thing they'd say is be like, oh, well, what did you do, or what did you do to entice them? You know what I mean? Like it wasn't really that big of a deal until they really started to like make it a deal. And even with the Me Too movement, it made it even more like, you know, like the things that aren't okay in the work office or shit like that. Like one of my favorite shows now is Black, was it Black Friday? I think it is. With Don Cheadle, Black Monday. Don Cheadle, he's like plays like a black guy on Wall Street in the '80s. It's freaking ridiculous, but it just, and then the stuff that they say in the office, and then like the women start to like take over the office, and like the things that became no longer okay to say. And if you're like not used to it, it's like, oh shit, like we can't do that. And I think that's what's happening now. People are getting to the point where like, oh, you know, that's not cool. That's not right. Like you can't say that. Like you can't say this. I mean, so it's kind of just opening people's eyes up to like what's like not cool. I mean, like you'll watch, even as me, like, you know, you'll watch Rocky, like Rocky 2, when they or Rocky 3 or whatever, when he goes down into the black gym, he goes, they're playing that jungle music or some shit. Like, yo, I would have kicked Paulie's ass. You know what I mean? Like, but like back then that was okay and it wasn't considered disrespectful. But that shit happens now. Paulie's gonna be walking out with a black eye and they all jumping them on. So it's a different world as times progress and stuff. And I think this time in history will be looked back on and like it'll be a good time for the human race and especially for minorities in America.
It's a time of being aware. I think that's the most
Definitely.
important thing.
Nice.
It's like be aware of your surroundings, be aware of who you are and who you're gonna become, and who you want to become. You know what I mean? In this world, it's all about that. And man, we could talk about this for like 6 hours straight, for
You
real.
talk about it. Like, Steve made a good point, and he's like, "Oh, you know, you're gonna lose a lot of your fans." And he goes, "I just want to make sure the world is right for my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little baby girl." I'm like, "Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like that's the things that's going through my head. It's like, what type of world am I going to leave?" Like you said, I think it's even it even goes beyond that. I think it goes beyond that. I think this will also like get a play into like just like global warming and everything because people
Mm-hmm.
are starting to understand the effects that humans have, the things that we just shove to the side and don't pay attention to, and eventually it's going to catch up to you. And that video was racism catching up to America. Like, here, you can't hide anymore. This is blatantly in your face. And I think this is, like you said, it's going to make people be a lot more aware of things they're doing and like the decisions that they make and the consequences that come with them. So, yeah, we can talk about this forever. We'll be here like, oh, damn, 4 hours later. I'll talk about this all day.
Yeah,
But it is a big
we might
part
have
of
to do
what's
a
going on
marathon.
now. Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm glad that it hasn't affected your business, man. Because I feel like because of the COVID and shutting everything down financially, it hit you hard, man. And especially if that happened and then you got hit by the looters and destroyed your
Yeah.
property, man. It's just double impact right there. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that you swayed away from that and that didn't happen to you. Now going
Yeah,
to your
man.
let's move on to your opponent, man. We can talk about it all night. Like your opponent, man, Luis Pena, a tall guy, man, 6'3". Have you fought anybody, competed against anybody that big, that tall?
I fought, I fought some guys. I fought one guy was 6'4". I fought another
Mm-hmm.
guy that was 6'2". So I fought some longer guys. I have some training partners. I have 2 or 3 training partners. 1 6'4", 1 6'2", and then one of my main training partner, John DeSuze. He's like 5'11", but he has like a 67-inch reach and stuff, or 77-inch reach and stuff. So I get some work with pretty long guys and stuff. So I think it's gonna be a really really interesting fight.
Do you see his fights and think, man, he has an awkward style?
He does and he doesn't. I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
give it away. He does and he doesn't. Like sometimes being unpredictable can be predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Johnny Depp said in Pirates of the Caribbean, he's like, it's the honest people you have to worry about because you can count on someone to be dishonest because they're dishonest, but the honest people you got to watch when they're going to become
Mm-hmm.
dishonest. Like that's how I approach fighting them. Like if you're always unpredictable, then I know what you're going to do because you're going to be unpredictable. It's the people that are predictable that you have to worry because they'll become unpredictable at the same time. So that's my thing: practicality, basic things, and then when I need to put something else in there, I'll put something else in there. So I get his style. It's nice. It's really unique. It is. it's different, but it's also simple at the same time, and I can figure it out.
Now with yourself going through UFC 249 and then, you know, these fights coming up and you had to turn it down, and now you have this fight which is actually on short notice, you know, what is
Right.
it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
What is the mentality? Has this COVID-19 period, pandemic, kind of changed anything with your mental focus moving on with fighting?
No, man, my focus is my girl's gonna hate this. Is fuck bitches get money, man. Like that's like yo, I'm coming to fucking wreck shit. Like that's always been my approach to fighting. So it's I turn on J Rock and it says win. It's like fuck everything else. Like that's all my brain is thinking about right now. So that's all I can focus on. Like once I signed the contract and they gave me a date, like I was kind of worried because I was feeling kind of weird. And then like this week, my whole everything just snapped, and like I'm in like a tunnel vision, and it's weird. So it's right back to where it's supposed to be. So it feels good.
Heading into this fight against Pena, are you expecting to, you know, get the same result as your debut, a flashy knockout in the first round? Is because I know we've talked about this before. It's like I'm not chasing the knockout; it just happens. So
I tell people all the time, like I don't try to get knockouts. Like I don't, like I don't go like I'm gonna knock this guy. I never do. And then when I don't try to, that's when I get knocked out. So I just go in the fight. Like I can see it going 3 rounds because we both have a very different style. It's like depending on who wants to do what first. So I mean, he's a good grappler, so he might come out and try to grapple me a lot. He's down on American Top Team. They're smart coaches. They might try to grapple me, tire me out, and then punch. Or like he might come out and try to do some crazy stuff. I might get caught. Like, you know what I mean? It's just multiple different ways, but I'm just preparing for all of them. I'm prepared to go 15 minutes straight if I need to, like balls to walls, or I can go in there and like get the fight over in 10 seconds. I would prefer that. So they can be like, yeah, fight Allen, bitch. Fight. You know, like however it works out, I'm ready to go.
oh, so you ready to call out Fight Island? You're just like,
Yeah,
just
I'm ready.
anybody.
I'm like, this. It can only be. I'm fucking Kong, and that's Skull Island. There can only be one king. Fuck that. I'm like, I want to get to Fight Island, and I want to smash somebody like really soon. So my plan is if everything turns out good, my body's healthy and stuff after this fight, I would like to fight in July on Fight Island. I'm get to my manager and be like, yo, let's get a fight on Fight Island. And like, fuck it. We'll fight whoever. We'll make catch weight, whatever. We'll meet whatever. Just let me get a fight. I want to fight there.
Yeah,
Like it's
if
fucking
it's
Abu Dhabi. Like
yeah.
yeah, like it's free vacation.
Yeah. Well, if it's a time to do that, it's the best time now because you see guys making these 2 week, 3 week turnarounds.
Yeah, like I mean, like, and that's my thing. I mean, of course, I want to still be calculated and smart about it because this is my career, but I don't want to sit around because like all the fights are happening on like 2 weeks notice and stuff. So I don't want to have to stay in shape for another 3 months after this just to get another fight. I'd rather do it fast and then take like 4 months off and try to get a fight at the end of the year.
Now with Pena, when you look at him, he's moved around a lot. You know, he was at AKA, now he's at American Top Team. I think he was in New Jersey for a while. When you have that kind of dynamic of training, right, where you're switching and everybody's different all the time, compared to you, where you've been working with your coach and you've stuck with your coach and you have your same training partners, do you feel like that is the best way to go instead of just hopping around? Is there advantages to that?
There's advantages and there's disadvantages to both sides. Like I don't know why he moved around. Like me personally, like I like to get a style of fighting with a certain style of coaches, stick with it and add things on, take things away. Like you know what I mean? Like feel like I like to go into battle when I fight with people that I think will die for me if they have to. You know what I mean? Like and like again, like I don't know why he moved. So maybe he had to move for some reason. You know what I mean? But if he just wants to jump around a different gym, like that's just how he approaches it. But yeah, I mean like getting new fighters, getting new training partners and stuff. That's not that I get new training partners around here all the time. Like I just get new guys, and guys. But like as in teammates and stuff and coaches getting used to patterns and stuff, that takes about a year. To me, I think it takes about a year and a half to get used to patterns. Like me and my head kickboxing coach, it took us like 2.5 years to get our patterns down. And now when we hit pads, it's awkward and it's weird and the timing's off. It looks like we're fucking shit up. We're doing it exactly the way we want to, but it took us forever to get to that point. You know what I mean? Like Mayweather and his uncle. You know what I mean? Like that type of that type of like connection that you have with your coaches. It's physical. It's almost spiritual to a certain degree. Like that's the type of way that I like to approach it. So like I'm like that now with my boxing coach. I'm like that now with my head boxing coach and my head coach, my MMA coach. He's actually been training me since I first started training, and actually he started coming back and training as of last year, and we've gotten to that point now as well. So I mean, like it to each their own. I know how I like to approach it. I like to like stick to things and then have coaches that also bring people in. Like I brought in Duke Rufus to do a seminar, you know what I mean? Like I bring like I have like I'm in Pittsburgh, so there's D1 wrestlers out the ass. So there's like a
Yeah.
D1 wrestler walking around every fucking corner who's a black belt. I go up to like other gyms in my place, the Mat Factory. I go up there, they're like a whole bunch of good wrestlers. They have world champion jiu-jitsu guys. Chris Dempsey. I train with him on a regular basis. He works with me and stuff, and so I'm constantly grabbing information from all different kinds of places, and then I have my basic fundamentals. My coaches, like we have to have a connection. They have to know me, and they can't just be coaching me. They have to understand the process and the philosophy of why there certain things work for me and what works for me and stuff like that. So, and that's why I like to like no matter what. Like even if I went and like I had to like get people from other camps, or I had to go to a different camp, I would still bring some of my coaches with me, like one or two of my coaches with me, so they can see, watch it, and then implement it properly into my game plan. I mean, that's what what's his name? What's his I whoop your ass. Fuck. Tyron Woodley. That's what he does. Dean Thomas is his like, and he's been his coach forever. No matter where he goes, he takes Dean Thomas with him. That doesn't mean that like when he was at Duke Rufus, that doesn't mean that Duke Rufus wasn't work, but he just had Dean Thomas. When he went to Thailand, he had like that's just his guy. That's his coach who puts his game plan into play and stuff. So I have like multiple different coaches like that, and then I'll swing them in and out depending on if I go somewhere else and I work with somebody or whatever. Like I mean, I've worked with Duke Rufus before, and I do want to work with him again. I like Henry Hoof's style as well. I really like his style. And there's a couple other coaches that I'd like to like work with and stuff like that. So we'll see.
Yeah, man.
I
It's
like
like,
Israel Adesanya's coach is good too. And
yeah.
I like their style. At least Israel Adesanya's style. I like his style. I don't know if that's his coach's style, if that's just him. Because like
I
like
think
the
it's
other
just
guys,
him. I think it's just
yeah,
him
because
because
the
if
other
you
guys
watch the other guys,
fight like that. They don't
mm-hmm.
fight with that irky jerky. Like I mean, they have Quake and Hooker
Mm-hmm.
and Vanowski or whatever. What's his name? The featherweight. I fuck his name up. Is it Vanowski?
Volkanovski. Yeah.
Volkanovski. Yeah. Like they don't really fight like Israel and Adesanya. So I mean that's more of. But still, like that coach obviously has some type of connection with him that he can bring out that style of fighting in him, particularly, and make it implant into his game plan and stuff. So yeah, I mean, like people always ask like, well, what do you think about bigger gyms and stuff? I'm like, I just think bigger gyms are just more bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're really at a big gym, there's like 80 fucking pro fighters on the mat. How much special attention are you getting? You know what I mean? Like how much one-on-one are you getting? Like my coach, we have like five other pro fighters and like six amateur fighters and stuff. My coach comes in and he'll deliberately just sit there with me for 2 hours and we'll work on something. And then I work twice a week with my other coach. And my head coach will like take time away from his family. He'll come here on Sunday nights and we'll work for 2 hours. We'll drill the same shit over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's particularly just for me and specifically set for me. It's not like a group setting or anything. So, I mean, I think that's more. I think I get because I'm at a small gym. Like I think I get the attention that like big guys get at bigger gyms. Like John Jones coaches come with him and they rep. If you go down to Wrinkle John and you're not a big name, they're just going to put you in with the rest of the crowd until you like because they don't have time. They just don't have time. Like I've been to big gyms and stuff like you just don't. Like you don't have time to do pad work for 12 guys. Their arms would be dead. You know what I mean? Like that's just not how it works. And then the big coaches have to go corner people. You know what I mean? There's fights every week. Like you're on. I mean, I was just watching Duke Rufus. He's been gone for corners for every like week. Like you know what I mean? So you're not really getting everything that you need. So technically, like, yes, you get to work with them, but in a smaller gym, you get more of that one-on-one connection. So I mean, all big gyms start off as small gyms at some point. Then they just get popular and people come there. So.
Yeah, it's like that MasterCard or American Express commercial, priceless. You know what I mean? Like getting that
Yeah.
personal attention, it's you can't replace it, man. And it's working out for you, Kama, man. You're doing your thing. You're going into this fight with a full head of steam. June 27th, UFC Fight Night, Las Vegas. Is this your first fight in Vegas?
Yeah, first
All
fight in
right,
Vegas.
man.
Yes,
That's good.
that's
That's good. That's hype.
I'm super geeked.
Yeah,
It
man.
sucks. We're gonna be like walk down. Like we're gonna get there
Yeah.
and routine, and then like we're gonna fight. Then they're gonna take us back to our hotel. Then put us on an airplane in the morning. Like I'm not. Vegas is kind of closed down anyway, so I won't really be able to get to go and see and do anything after my fight. I'll probably come back to the hotel, have a drink or something, and then that's about it.
All right, well, man, I appreciate the time as always, and good luck on the fight. Good luck on, your businesses, your family, man. Stay safe, and we'll speak soon.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me on again, brother.